Hi guys, welcome to Asher and Gad channel, making Africa home again, one family at a time. Trust you are all doing well wherever you are on the four corners of the earth, making gradual plans to make your dreams become a reality in the continent that is Africa. Trust you're all doing well. Thanks for all the comments from our subscribers. Love to the love to our PayPal and Patreon families, respectively. I know it's been a while, but life has been busy with all sorts going on, and obviously the consultancy as well. Busy. But back again to give you a few more videos to help those who are building in Ghana. Now, today's video is a fairly brief one. And it's all to do with really some electrical equipment in Ghana and things that I found out recently. It bothered me in the past, but now I've got a few more details, so now I'm able to present this. So I've titled this video, Consider This Before Building in Ghana. Okay, consider this before building in Ghana, and it's really about electrical equipment. I'm gonna cover buying generators, inverters, some cables in Ghana, your borehole pump which is in the ground, and also talk about the electric fence itself around the compound or on the wall, perimeter wall of your property. All right, so let's take each in turn. Let's first of all talk about generators. Now, dumsor is absolutely crazy in Ghana now. It is really bad. I think last week we had power outage. I'm not kidding you, 9 times in one day. 9 times in one day. It went off, some of them off, and then half an hour it comes back on, and then another time it goes off, comes back after an hour. 9 good times, which is absolutely madness. And that is why it is so important. As I've said already, if you've been a long-term subscriber, you know if you're building in Ghana, you must have an AVR. You must have an SPD, because the constant on and off voltage fluctuations does damage equipment. A client recently contacted us, and his electric fence battery system, the control system, has completely been damaged. And the only thing we can think about of how it's been damaged is by the constant power fluctuations and by the constant on and off. You know, so whilst installing an AVR will come at a cost, it is necessary in the long term, and an SPD as well. So, but coming back to generators, so obviously people are still installing generators because it's still more affordable than solar, even though solar is also on the rise. One thing I've noticed, being an electrical design engineer for about over 2 decades, obviously I know exactly what I'm looking for when it comes to generator. So for example, I went to a couple of retailers in the Hacho area, I think it was Hacho and Achimota actually, looking for a 10 kVA generator to buy, a 10 kVA single phase generator. Now I know that a 10 kVA single phase generator should have a full load current, should be able to produce me a full load current or full load amps of anything between 40 and 45 amps. Okay, and if you don't believe me or you're not convinced, I'm putting an image on your screen right from Google. You can just put it in yourself. What is the full load amps of a 10 kVA generator? And on this screen, they've used a 240 volts, and they got about 41 point something amps. Okay, the Ghana system is 220 volts. So when you do that, you get about a higher number, around 45 amps. So imagine you're going to buy a 10 kVA single phase generator. The equipment sticker, the sticker on the piece of equipment, or the nameplate rating on the piece of equipment, I'll try and find a picture for you. You should see something around anything between 40 and 45 amps for a 10 kVA single phase generator. Now, I go and look for a similar size generator to buy in a couple of areas of Ghana, and I'm being asked to buy a 10 kVA generator, and the amps was only 26. How? What's going on here? So I try to crack my head to understand what is going on, because a 26 amp, if you're buying a 10 kVA generator and it says that on the sticker and it says it's only 26 amps, that means in reality 26 amps is about 5.7 kVA. So you're paying the price, or being quoted the price of a 10 kVA generator, but in reality the machine is actually only 5.7 kVA because it can only produce 26 amps. And I was arguing, and the guy said, no, I guess it's not his fault because he's just a salesperson. He's not a technical person. Okay. Now, from further investigation in Ghana, it would appear, and I'm not surprised, the African continent appears to be, cheated somewhat. That some equipment comes from China, yeah, and the label says one thing, but the actual rating of the equipment is different. So when you're buying a generator, look, and it says it's 10 kV or whatever, just do a simple Google search and put the question in Google and see what it comes out at, or contact Asher and Gad if you want some guidance. What is the full load amps of a 10 kVA generator, single phase, and it should give you the answer. But obviously double check. Now, I've spoken to some other suppliers of inverters, and they've told me that they've had some experiences where some equipment has come from China. Let's say some inverter, they tell you it's a 20 kilowatt inverter. When you open the package and then you look at the actual nameplate writing on it, it turns out it's actually a 12 kilowatt inverter or a 10 kilowatt inverter. So these things appear to be creeping into the African or into the Ghanaian market. So buyers, be warned. If you're buying a 10 kVA generator, make sure you check that it's actually 10 kVA and you're not paying for 10 kVA but actually getting 5. Okay, that applies to anything. Generators applies to inverters. Make sure you check the nameplate rating. I'll try and put a picture of what I mean by the nameplate rating. Okay, very, very important, unless you're paying double the price for half the power output. Okay, when it doesn't work properly, when it doesn't support your home as it should do, then you find issues. Obviously, these people who are supplying the continent, obviously, I can't name names, I don't know who the manufacturers are, but this is what I've been told. They obviously, majority of people are not technical people, so they, majority of times you probably get away with it. But it's up to you to be informed when you're building in Ghana. Okay. Now, let's talk about cables. Second point, cables. I had an issue recently with one of my pumps on the roof. Been working fine for last couple of years. All of a sudden, it stopped working. Didn't know what was going on. Showing you a video on the screen. I changed the fuses on the power supply to the pump, and I plugged in something else like a kettle to the socket to see what's going on. Everything worked. No issues with the power supply whatsoever. But from investigation, we found out that the actual cable that came with the pump comes with a cable and a plug on the end that then plugs into the socket next to the pump. That actual cable had burnt, completely burnt. And to our surprise, just watch this video coming up. When we stripped back the cable had become powder. It had become powder and it was very, very brittle. Just watch this video and come back. All right, guys. So this is a 2.5 mil cable. It looks like a good cable made in China. We've installed it for many years, but all of a sudden my pump stopped working. As I told you, I checked the fuses, changed the fuses, everything worked, no problems with the power supply, but found out that it looks like the cable burnt. And when I strip it out, you can see, if you look closely, you can see some ashes coming out, and the cable just rips apart very easily. The cable should not be able to become brittle and allow you to just break it like this. So copper has become ash. So the cable actually burnt. That is why the pump stopped working. There was nothing wrong with the pump, nothing wrong with the power supply, but for some reason the cable burnt. Maybe there was power fluctuations, the cable burnt, and then the burnt became brittle, and then therefore the power stopped working, which is very strange. Very, very strange. But this is one example of what can go wrong. All right, hope that makes sense. Welcome back, guys. So there you go. The cable itself, it was probably an aluminium cable, which obviously doesn't carry the same amount of power as the equivalent copper size cable. So, this comes straight from the manufacturer of the pump. So again, quite poor. Where's the quality control of some of this equipment that is being imported into the country? Luckily, thank the Most High, it didn't cause a fire. Caught it in time, and we've been able to change it to a copper cable, and a 2.5 mil copper cable, flex cable, and now everything is fine. But just something to be wary of there as well. Okay. Now, next two items I want to cover: borehole pumps and electric fence. But before I do so, let's just stop for a quick break, and we'll be right back. Are you looking to build your dream home in Ghana? Or are you building already? Would you benefit from regular site visits to monitor your building and receive regular progress reports? Well, if that's the case, and that's you, look no further. Asher and Gad Consultancy at your service. We offer the following services: electrical design, construction monitoring inspections, site progress reports, consultation for all items MEP, witnessing of testing and commissioning, periodic snagging, vetting of specialist subcontractors. We also report site activities to you to hopefully help you spend your money efficiently and much, much more. Get in contact for your building needs. Details on the screen. Asher and Gad Consultancy, making Africa home again, one family at a time. Welcome back, guys. Yeah, so let's talk about borehole pumps. Borehole pumps, been in Ghana now we've been using our borehole pump now for about 3.5 years now. It stopped working just all of a sudden about 2 months ago, to my surprise, which again was quite frustrating. I don't see why I should, I think it should last longer than that. By speaking to various people in Ghana who lived in Ghana for many years, they said, yeah, it's a common thing that their borehole pumps seem to stop working after 3 years, or in some cases even 2 years. I'm not sure why. So ours suddenly stopped working after just over 3.5 years. So we had to remove it completely. We changed it to a more powerful pump to give us a bit more pressure. But yeah, just something to be aware of, that the borehole pump, allow it in your budget, that from those who I've spoken to, every 3 years or so it is likely to break down. You need to change it, which is unfortunate, but there you go. Last particular item I want to talk about, just looking at my notes, is the electric fence. Okay, the electric fence that you have around your property for security. Now, it should be silent. It should be silent in operation. However, I have gone to some homes where you can hear a clicking noise, some sort of clicking noise coming from the electric fence as you're near the property. Now, what this means is that there is some sort of contact with the wires, which is causing a little bit of a short circuit, and then it's causing that clicking sound. Which, what are the pros and cons of that? In one way, it allows people, any thieves or bad people around to know that, okay, yes, the electric fence is live. That's one benefit, if you like. But at the same time, that constant clicking and meaning that something is two wires are in contact really means that the transformer is overworking, and it means that probably in two years or so, that transformer will have to be replaced. If it's silent, the transformer should be able to be functional for many years. I don't know, 10 years at least. But if it's that constant clicking, then you may need to change the transformer probably every 3 years. The transformer may just burn out. A client of ours recently changed hers, and it was about 1,500 cedis to change the transformer. So there you go. The best thing is to contact the person who installed it and get them to inspect the whole wiring system to ensure that there's nothing in contact. There should be about 2 or 3 centimeters between the wires, so that nothing is in contact. Now, as I said, obviously when there's a power failure and the battery of the electric fence dies out, if there's that's a long power failure, then that noise will stop. And obviously if there are smart thieves around, then they know that, oh, okay, there's no more power in the fence, which is not a good thing either. So really, the silent operation is best, so that they don't know whether it's on or off, and the transformer lasts longer for you. So if you have that issue, then I suggest you have a look into it and address it as soon as possible. Okay. Regarding the electric fence, I already said that a client of ours lost their complete system because of, they didn't have an SPD or AVI installed in their property, so all the dumsor on and off damaged it completely. So, which is obviously not a good thing. So that's all I wanted to really cover today. Just beware. Consider these things before building in Ghana, especially as you're buying your electrical equipment. Make sure you check the generator nameplate ratings so that you are convinced that if you're buying a 20 kilowatt generator or 20 kVA generator, that you are actually getting the 20 kVA generator and not 10. Same thing with the inverters, borehole pumps. Well, it is what it is on the borehole pump. With all the dumsor happening as well, as I always advise my clients, is try to install a water tank on your roof or on a high vertical structure near the roof. You want a tank that is a high level, so that when there's no power and you don't have any backup generator or solar system, you still have water coming into your home by gravity. Okay, that is very essential because water is very important, more important than electricity. So you need to design your plumbing system so that you have a tank at high level, preferably on the structure of the building, to serve water into the home when there is no power. Very, very, very important piece of advice I would give to you guys there. So really, you guys would have noticed we've changed our intro video because people have been sending emails wanting an update on the farm. So hopefully you can have a look at that intro video to see what the farm is looking at. We've been eating from our farm for a long time now. I'll probably try and cover that in a separate video, but it's really great to do. Independent power, independent water, and independent food is the way to go. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. As usual, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button so you always be aware when Asher and Gad upload a new and educational video for your viewing pleasure. All right, so from Gad is Kemesia, and from me, guys, Yebeshia. See you next time.